What's up, Chiefs Kingdom? Noah Gray here, tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to Josh's channel and check out showmefootball.com for more.
What is up, Chiefs Kingdom? Welcome back to another video on my channel. My name is Josh Fan of showmefootball.com and arrowheadaddict.com, covering your Kansas City Chiefs. And today I wanted to talk about the Kansas City Chiefs offense getting even more dangerous thanks to the late progression of rookie wide receiver Xavier Worthy. Expectations were obviously sky high this year for Xavier Worthy after the Kansas City Chiefs traded up to get him in the first round of the NFL draft after he ran the fastest 40-yard dash in combine history. Typically, when you make such a large investment in a player like that, you expect them to be really good off the bat. And while Worthy definitely had some good moments early in the season, for the most part, the first half of his rookie season was a little bit underwhelming. Some Chiefs fans even started to wonder if he was worth the first-round pick. But in the second half of Xavier Worthy's rookie season, he has emerged as a top target on offense and has shown to be a reliable wide receiver both in the red zone and when moving the chains. Over the last 8 games, Xavier Worthy is averaging almost 60 yards receiving per game. And in that same time span, Xavier Worthy has added an additional 67 yards rushing and 4 total touchdowns. And now all of a sudden you look up at the stats and Xavier Worthy is quietly having one of the best rookie wide receiver seasons, and he's up there for the most touchdowns of any wide receiver this season. Worthy struggled early on to beat press man coverage, and he had a few drops here and there, but he's really cleaned those up as of recently and has become a reliable target for Patrick Mahomes within the offense. And you can see the way that the offense has improved now that Worthy is starting to add a little bit more. It should be mentioned, though, that expectations early on being so high for Xavier Worthy were a little bit unfair, as the Kansas City Chiefs expected to have Hollywood Brown and Rashee Rice at the beginning of the year, and those were going to be the top targets in the offense, with Xavier Worthy sprinkled in a little bit. But then injuries started to hit within the Kansas City Chiefs offense. They lost Hollywood Brown, they lost Rashee Rice for the season, and it kind of catapulted Worthy into a role that maybe was a little bit unfair to ask of him. Similar to Rashee Rice in 2023, the Kansas City Chiefs had to speed up Rashee Rice's progression because of the talent issue that was plaguing the wide receiver core. And we saw Rashee Rice take a lot of lumps early with ball security and spacing within the offense, but he ended up cleaning that up by the time he got to the end of the season, and we saw a surge in the second half of his rookie season. He really started to cement himself on offense, and I would say we've seen pretty much the same thing from Xavier Worthy. He's taken the lumps, learned from them, and he's really improved to the point where not only can he give you those big explosive plays for a touchdown, but he's also doing more of the little things right, getting open quickly so that Patrick Mahomes can get the ball out, being someone that can bail you out on 3rd and long like we saw on that 3rd down play against the Los Angeles Chargers, someone that can move the chains. The deep balls are nice, and some of the sweeps and the plays to get Xavier Worthy out in space are really exciting and fun to watch, but we've actually seen him do a lot more than that, a lot of the little things that he wasn't doing early on to get himself involved. And now we're starting to see that, and you have seen that his production has gone way up, and he has scored a lot of touchdowns for this team, or helped them score a lot more touchdowns as of recently. And he's getting hot at the right time for the Kansas City Chiefs as they head into the postseason. We still needed to see that little bit more from the offense, and I think we've seen since Hollywood Brown's return and Xavier Worthy's emergence in the second half of the season, this Chiefs offense is now capable of scoring 30 points or more in a game, which is not something that they were really doing before we saw those guys get into a rhythm. And with Hollywood Brown now coming back, that just opens up more things for Xavier Worthy to do more damage. Defenses now have to worry about both Hollywood and Worthy, who are both burners down the field. And so you can't just defend one of them and think you're safe. You have to get both of them. You have to cover both of them. And I think that's going to give Worthy even more opportunities to have more deep plays like we saw early in his rookie season, like the big touchdown he caught against the Los Angeles Chargers in the first Chiefs-Chargers game. I think we'll see a lot more of that now with Hollywood Brown being added in, and Kelsey's going to emerge in the playoffs. I think we saw Travis Kelce kind of show that he's still got it in that last regular season game that he'll probably play against the Pittsburgh Steelers. When Kelsey's playing like that, it just puts a lot more stress on the defense, and it opens things up for guys like Xavier Worthy, who are really coming along here late in the year. Worthy is just becoming much more of a well-rounded wide receiver, and I think the explosive plays are sure to come with that. And at some point, he's going to get open more easily. He's already shown a vast improvement from the beginning of the season to now in terms of getting open. And the performance against the Houston Texans in particular was really impressive to me because he went up against two very young and super talented defensive backs in Kamari Lassiter and Derek Stingley Jr., and he gave them just about everything that they could handle, catching 7 of his 8 targets for 65 yards and a touchdown in that win over the Texans. I understand why the expectations were sky high for Xavier Worthy coming out. He ran the fastest 40-yard dash, and it was a signal that the Kansas City Chiefs wanted to bring back the explosive deep bomb to this offense, something that they've lacked for the last couple of years. And even though it hasn't really come as much this year, we do know that Xavier Worthy has given Patrick Mahomes plenty of opportunities to convert on those, but Patrick Mahomes just has to be more accurate. And Mahomes has even said that there have been about 200 yards and a handful of touchdowns that have been left on the field this year for Xavier Worthy if Patrick Mahomes could just be on target with him. And that's another thing that I think a lot of people forget when analyzing Xavier Worthy's rookie season. And it's still been a really good season. He's over 600 yards on the year now with 8 touchdowns. So that's nothing to scoff at when it comes to Xavier Worthy's rookie year. Yeah, he struggled early on. He faced a lot of criticism early on, but he's putting it all together at the right time for the Chiefs. And that's a really good thing as they head into the postseason for the stretch run. But it also gives Chiefs fans something to be really excited about looking forward into the future, what Xavier Worthy could end up being, because I'm not sure we quite know what his ceiling is yet, but I think it's pretty high. And there's zero doubt that he's been one of the more exciting developments on this team over the course of the year. It's been really fun to watch him progress. I always believed in him. I was always a fan of that draft pick, and he is starting to prove me right. So I just wanted to spotlight Xavier Worthy's rookie season and the way that he has been playing as of recently, because he's become a really important part of this offense, and Patrick Mahomes is starting to gain that trust with him, and it's making the Kansas City Chiefs even more dangerous as they gear up for another Super Bowl run. But I want to hear from you guys. Have you been impressed with Xavier Worthy's rookie season, and what do you think his 2024 postseason is going to look like? I'm really curious to hear from you guys on that one. So with all that being said, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Emphasis on the subscribe, since around 90% of you watching my videos are not subscribed. So do me a huge favor and smash the subscribe button and the like button. It helps me get found, helps me out, keeps the channel going. So I appreciate you all. Make sure you leave your comments down below. You can check out my work on showmefootball.com and arrowheadaddict.com. And you can also follow me on Twitter at showmefb. But that's all I got for this one. Signing off. And as always, go Chiefs.